How's it going? My name is Brett Baker. I'm a learning coach here in North Penn School District, and I've got some things that I'm going to share. But first, I'm going to enjoy a little bit more summer. Well, summer. Who doesn't love summer? I love summer, but this job is so much more than having our summers off. And as those students walk through the door, they're going to be expecting us to be the best we possibly can. So let's talk about some of those things that we're going to encounter as we roll into the school year. As a new teacher, one of the most challenging things for me was, where do I go to get the answer? When I had a situation in my classroom, I needed to have an answer fast because a lot of people were relying on me. And that was one of my biggest challenges. And I'd like to believe that as a coach, I can be that resource person for you. When you have a problem, just reach out. Any of the learning coaches are going to be there to help you. If not with an answer, they'll give you the place where you can find the answer. That's what I love about being a learning coach, that I'm here for you as a resource. Today I'm going to touch on 3 different tools. One is Loom, one is WeVideo, and one is Seesaw. Well, it's easy to see the topic. Yes, indeed, this is the screen sharing Loom. I really like Loom. We'll get into it a little bit. First of all, it's very easy. It's a Chrome extension. It is web-based, and it's not something that we have a subscription to. However, once you have the extension, it's very simple to use. I do really like Loom. I'm not sure I love Loom. I love WeVideo. I like Loom. The extension, once it's loaded, when you click on it, you'll click on the purple flower, and what's going to load is not the screencaster the first time. You'll go right to a website which will ask you for some information. From that point on, when you click on the purple flower, you will get to the screencast screen, which looks very similar to this. You'll have some options: screen and camera, screen or just camera. You'll want to choose the full desktop. Now, you can do turn tab, but if you're in the midst of something big and you switch tabs, then it can get confusing and you'd have to re-record. The recording settings, I like that because it's a waveform, so you can actually see the waveform going, and that way you know your microphone is working. If you have trouble with your microphone or camera, there's down carrots over here on the right side, which will allow you to switch your camera and switch your microphone. When you're ready to go, you start recording. Orange box, you can't miss it. And then you're going to get that choice again. Do you want to do your entire screen, a window, or a Chrome tab? And I'm going to always encourage people to do entire screen. And then as soon as you do that, the bottom right-hand corner blue box is going to light up, and you're going to share. As soon as you click share, a countdown is going to start. The countdown will take you 3, 2, 1, 0, but those 3 seconds go fast. So as soon as you click share, be ready to start talking and sharing your cast. When you're done, there's a blue rectangle that you'll see at the bottom of your screen. It'll be right in the center of your screen. And as soon as you click stop sharing, the recording will turn off. And then it's going to take you to a website. And on the website, you'll see your video is sitting right here. And underneath here, you can't see it, but right down below the video is the title. And if the title is not something that you want, you should change it right now. Now's the time to be changing the title. Here's what it looks like. Mine was already named Loom because I was using Google Slides. That's what I entitled my Google Slide presentation. So that's what Loom picked up. and I'm very happy with that. So I kept it. And then I don't share. I go to the link and I click on the link and just copy that link. And then I can put that link anywhere I want. I like that better than the share. If you're sharing, it's going to be between grade partners, possibly, or a friend in another grade in another school, because it's going to ask you for an email. Upon completion, if you're looking for your videos, they're stored right on the Loom Video site, and you can find all your videos by just clicking on this little guy right here in the toolbar on the left hand side, and then it'll open up your library and all your videos will be stashed right there. Here's some of the pros and cons. The first pro is I really like the fact that when your video is viewed, you get a notification saying somebody watched your video. It only happens the first time, but oftentimes if you're doing a one-on-one type situation, it's nice knowing that that video is actually watched. And it's also very easy to use. I like that aspect of Loom. The con is that it's web-based, and they kind of have control over Loom. We don't have any say because it's not a subscription model. We could get a subscription to Loom, but we are WeVideo customers. So Loom is kind of an ancillary screencasting tool. And in the past, they have limited the amount of time that a screencast can run. So just know that Loom is not necessarily controlled easily by any one district, that they kind of do what they want. We do pay for WeVideo, so it provides editing options, and it's a little bit more robust than Loom Screencast. As always, if anything comes up and you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll be glad to help you out. Seesaw is a platform for engagement. The students use it with creative tools. They take pictures, they draw, they can record, and all of this is captured in a portfolio. Once you get to the desktop, this logo will show up, and I call it a bow tie, a colorful bow tie. Once you click on Seesaw, you will be taken to a screen that looks like this. The first time you go to Seesaw, you may have to log in. If you are using another device, you will most likely get this screen when you first log in, and that is at app.seesaw.me. So I'm going to click I'm a teacher. When I get to this spot, this is what it will look like for a student too. And you're just going to click sign in with Google. It's going to ask you to confirm your identity. Once you confirm your identity, you'll be set to go. You should have students already populated over here on the right side. And up here under teacher, it will most likely say one class. As we progress through the year, students will possibly be using Seesaw in other classrooms. So they could potentially have 2, 3, 4, 5 different classes in which they will have to switch back and forth in to get to that teacher's work. For right now, we are in my class called Houseflies. I love Seesaw because of its versatility. We used this last year quite extensively in our virtual environment, and luckily it could be transferred right over into the classroom. The thing that I find is that it's going to be most important for you is A, get to your class. Once you're in your class, I'm going to ask that you go up here to your name and click one time on your name. I'm going to suggest you click on this help box, and it's going to take you to the Seesaw Help Center. which is very comprehensive. As soon as you arrive in the Help Center, I'm going to suggest that you scroll down and look at all of these different options for using Seesaw. These two on the top are going to be very beneficial to you getting started and the basics. Now, your class is already going to be loaded in there, so that eliminates one of the big challenges that we face in K1, 2 in those early days. If you teach 1 through 6, chances are very good that your students have already used Seesaw, and all you're going to have to do is deploy some new activities and new lessons. When you open basics, you'll see exactly what happens. Right over here on the left side, this is activities, and that's what we call everything that we assign in Seesaw, activities. And then we have management and folders are going to be something that I do suggest you use. That's one of the suggestions that early on I'm going to suggest that you go in and you just watch some of these videos. The videos from Seesaw are very good. And although we are great resources as coaches, this is also a great resource for you. And remember, if you have any questions about Seesaw, please reach out to me. We are going to go back to the classroom, though, and take a look at what a lesson / activity might look like if you assign it to the students.
You might not be sold on Seesaw yet, but wait, the best is yet to come.
You might ask yourself, what makes Seesaw so good? I'm going to tell you right now, and that is not only can Seesaw help students take a picture of their work, or take a picture of themselves, or do a video of themselves, but there's a host of activities already created, and you don't have to do the work of creation. So over here in activities, even if you don't have anything happening over here in your class yet, you're going to go up here to this plus sign and assign an activity. This is going to open the activity library. This particular library is my library. So when you open yours for the first time, you're not going to see any of these lessons over here. Yours is going to most likely be empty except for create new activity. We'll get to that in a little bit. What I'm going to encourage you to use, though, is school and district. Now, these are lessons that have been created by teachers at North Penn School District, and they're all different grade levels, but there's a lot of kindergarten activities, first grade activities that are already created for you in this area. So that's school and district. If you can't access this, please let me know, because we might have to make an adjustment to your account, but you should be able to see activities going to school and district. If you're looking for something that is not in this activity bank, you can go over here to community. Within community, there are thousands and thousands of lessons, and that's probably not an exaggeration. Right here, back to school favorites, there's 30 activities. So right here on this front page, we're looking at 55, 75, 80 some activities right here in this panel. And so as you scroll down, you can see what current searches are popular this week. And when you find an activity, I'm going to go back to school and district. When you find an activity that you're interested in, what I like to do is I like to just go up here to this purple heart. And the purple heart is going to place that activity in your library. So now Fun in the Sun is going to be in my library. Also from here, though, I can assign it right to my class. So I know I like Fun in the Sun. I'm going to assign this to my class. If you want to see the activity, just click on it. Once you get to this first click, you'll be able to see a little bit about what this lesson is about. you'll be able to see the student template down here, what they're going to be asked to do in this activity. You can listen to the instructions that are provided, and you can also assign it right from here. So let's just say I'm going to assign this activity. Once you say assign activity, your main class is going to show up here. If you have, for example, a star group, maybe you want to assign it just to your two students that are in the star group. I'm going to assign it to houseflies. Assign to one class, and the activity is assigned. If I go back to my class, you can see now here is the activity that I assigned, and the students can now add a response. For me to do a little test to see what this is going to look like, I can click on add a response, go to my sample student, and now with my sample student, I can see exactly what I'm supposed to do by viewing the instructions up here. I can play the instructions, and I'm supposed to count the summer objects on each slide. So I go to slide number 2, and I count my shovels. I'm going to use little marks. I'm going to change my color so that I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got the idea. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to over here. I'm going to change color. And my answer is 10. When I'm done with this activity as a student, I've only done one slide out of multiple slides, but when I'm done, all I have to do is click on this green check mark, and it will get sent immediately to my teacher. Right now, you can see this will be a draft, and that's how it will be indicated on my class list that this particular student, this sample student, is working on this activity still, so it's in the draft form, but I'm going to submit it. And now that activity is submitted and it was sent to my teacher. As I mentioned earlier, this creates a nice student portfolio, and that is because the activities, as they are completed, will end up going into the students, under the student's name, and into an electronic portfolio. Those items will be available throughout the entire school year, and they'll even be available beyond the school year for us if we would need them for any reason.
I know you've heard it before from me, but let's take a look at WeVideo. I love WeVideo.
When we do screencasting, you're going to look for the icon that you've downloaded from the Chrome Web Store, which is called WeVideo. I think it might say WeVideo for Chrome, but it's the WeVideo icon is right up here on your dashboard once you download it. And the first time you click on it, you're going to get some options. There's 3 options across the top. You can do a dual screencast where your picture will appear in the bottom corner. You can do just the screen, which we're doing right now, or you can just do the webcam. Once you get that set, then your microphone and your camera should default to the current camera and microphone that you're using with your device. If something doesn't seem right and the microphone isn't picking up sound, then you might have to go to this down caret and change the microphone. Same thing for the camera. When you're ready to roll, you just hit the record button, and then you're going to get another screen. And that screen is going to ask you what you want to record, whether you want to record the entire screen, a window, or a tab. Mine is a little bit different because I have a 2 screen set up in my office, but my suggestion is that you choose entire screen. because if you're flipping around and you're teaching a lesson and you're just on a window or a tab and all of a sudden you need to jump over somewhere else, then you have to stop your recording and either do an edit or start over again. So my suggestion is just do the entire screen. Once you choose the entire screen, you'll get a share. The blue share will light up, and just one click on the share button, and then a countdown will start. As the countdown gets to 0, then obviously you're screencasting, and you might not see your picture, you might not hear your voice, you might not see your voice, but everything is working the way it's supposed to once you get this countdown. And when you're ready to stop, you can hit this button, this big blue rectangle at the bottom that says stop sharing. However, I have one more thing to show you, and that is there is a toolbar that will appear on your bottom left-hand corner. The toolbar here is a little bit fuzzy because I've blown it up from what lives down here in the bottom corner, which is normally very small, and I've tried to make it a little bit larger. And if you choose that pen, you'll be able to annotate on your screen. Anywhere on your screen, you'll be able to create an annotation. When you're done with your screencast, simply hit stop sharing. Once you stop sharing, WeVideo web page will open and it will say, where do you want to save this video to? I often save it to my Google Drive because that's the easiest for me to access on an ongoing basis. However, if I know I'm going to do some editing on this particular piece, I'll save it right to WeVideo. Either one of these that you use will automatically give you a link when it's done uploading. Before you leave this screen, if I were to scroll down on this screen, I can't because this is a screenshot, but if you scroll down, there's a box where the title appears. It's actually right down here under your main picture. There's a title, and the title will be My Recording. So before you leave this page, rename your video. Otherwise, you're going to end up in your Google Drive with My Recording, My Recording, My Recording, My Recording. In your WeVideo, you're going to end up with the same My Recording, My Recording, My Recording. So change the name and then hit save. Remember, if you have a question or a problem, feel free to reach out to any coach because we can at least talk you through the issue and get you to the right resource to answer your questions or solve your problems. My address, bakerbg@npenn.org. Have yourself a great day.